Hi everyone, it's PJ slash Rainy Day Gamer, and today we're going to be talking about how recently The Sims 1 and 2 has gotten an official re-release that is hopefully releasing this week. They are going to be including all of their expansion packs and stuff packs, and of course this has been something that we as the community have been asking for a really long time now, so it's great to finally be actually getting it. But today I'm going to be looking into what I expect from these re-releases and if there's a chance for maybe any lost or cut content being restored. So starting with The Sims 1, we have 7 expansion packs. We have The Sims Living Large, House Party, Hot Date, Vacation, Unleashed, Superstar, and my favourite, Making Magic. So I'm just going to quickly go through each expansion pack and just talk about kind of what they added to the game. So Living Large was the first expansion where they added some new objects like a telescope, some new NPCs like the Grim Reaper's first appearance and Santa Claus. They also added some new careers such as the Slacker and Journalism, and also a new occult, the Zombie Occult. House Party was the second expansion where they added a ton of new objects like dance floors, DJ booths. They added some new NPCs like the Mine and Entertainers. The main theme for this pack was allowing Sims to throw massive house parties. Then we have Hot Date, which was the first expansion to actually add a new neighborhood, which was Downtown. Sims could visit to either go on dates or just explore on their own, really. It added some NPCs like the iconic Mrs. Crimblebottom. They actually added townies for the first time, and also a ton of new objects like hot tubs and a fish pond. They added some new romantic interactions and also improved the overall relationships and how they work. They also added interest bars like food, romance, etc. That is something that we see get carried over to The Sims 2. The next expansion was Vacation, which also added a new neighborhood called Vacation Island. This island was divided into 3 areas, kind of each which had their own environment. So one was a beach themed, a forest, and kind of snowy themed. It came with a ton of new objects like snowman kits and volleyball courts. It came with a new mascot NPC and a ton of new interactions. Unleashed was the next expansion to add a neighborhood. It added Old Town, and this gave us the first time to actually have pets. So we had tons of new objects and families, NPCs like Tidy Heidi or Gardener Bob. We had some new careers like the Animal Care and Education, and then we also had a bunch of new interactions to interact with pets. Superstar was our next expansion, which introduces the Fame system, and this is where your sim can become a superstar, so they can have new careers such as becoming a supermodel, actor, or a singer. It comes with a ton of new objects like karaoke, a skydiving simulator, and NPCs like Avril Lavigne and Christina Aguilera. It also came with the new neighborhood Studio Town, so this was the first expansion where we could actually follow our Sims when they went to work. Making Magic, which was my personal favourite, was an expansion pack that was all about magic, casting spells, and also exploring the new magical neighborhood. So we've got some NPCs like the iconic Bonehilda. We also got gardening gnomes, and of course we got a ton of magical objects, the new Magic Town, and we can also have a dragon as a pet, which I don't think is possible in any of the other games, so that's something that I would love to see back. So now moving on to what I'm actually expecting from the re-releases, or I guess hoping for. Personally, all I want is for The Sims to be able to run on any machine with no need for kind of any external programs or mods to actually just get it working. If you try to get The Sims working currently, it takes a ton of work and you're never really confirmed to actually get it working. It's a bunch of hoops you gotta jump through. I'd also love to see the UI maybe get a nice HD upgrade. Also fixing some resolution problems that modern monitors kind of come into. I know there's a ton of mods out there that already do that. We shouldn't have to do that if we get a re-release. Now, of course, there is going to be some cut content from The Sims, but unfortunately, I doubt they will actually add them in. It's going to be a lot of work to add them in. It's like, for example, they have foundations were originally supposed to be in the game, but they were scrapped alongside other features in the base game and the expansions. So overall, do I think a re-release is actually worth it? Well, I guess it kind of depends on the price, and as we know, EA, I'm sure, will try to upsell the game as much as they can to get away with it. So if it's an unreasonable price, like €60, then I would probably avoid buying it until it's on sale. The game and expansions, they are amazing, and you can tell the developers did an amazing job and had so much passion for it, but there's no reason for us as players to be charged full price for a game that's, 25 years old? Especially since it's not a remaster and it's only a re-release. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. So now moving on to The Sims 2, it is my personal favourite in the series, and The Sims 2 came with 8 expansion packs and 9 stuff packs. One of the biggest differences between Sims 1 and 2 is now Sims could actually age all the way to elderhood and eventually pass away. So I'm not going to go into depth about the stuff packs, I'm just going to focus on the expansion packs. The first expansion was University, which for the first time would allow our Sims to actually go to university. It came with 3 pre-built college neighborhoods, new careers like show business and being an artist, a new life state for young adults, new music, interactions, secret societies, and also a ton of new objects. The next expansion was Nightlife, which focused on new social interactions and lots for Sims to visit. They could go on romantic dates, visit a nightclub, and it also added a new inventory system where Sims could keep objects in their inventory. It added tons of new objects, it saw the return of NPCs like Mrs. Crumblebottom, and it also added a new aspiration, pleasure. It also added something that we all want in The Sims 4, which is drivable cars, and I think The Sims 2 actually did cars the best. It improved pools and updated some of the build buy tools. It also added a new group outings feature. So similar to The Sims 4, where you could kind of group Sims together so they would all kind of go to a lot and maybe dance together. It also added stuff like turn-ons and turn-offs, the Fury mechanic where Sims could be really angry with another, and that would be for a certain time, so if someone was cheated on, they might be angry for a couple of Sim days. There is a lot to explore in this pack, so I don't want to go into too much detail since it's really fun to just kind of mess around with on your own time, especially if you've never played it before. The third expansion, Open for Business, was the first time where our Sims could actually open a business. And they could open a business for anything. It could be for a clothing store, a bakery, or even just selling toys. So it really was all about helping your Sim master the skill of being a business owner while also making sure to manage your inventory and employees. Unlike The Sims 4, you could actually run your business from your home lab. It also added the new occult Servos, which was a robot that Sims could build if they had a high enough talent badge for robotics. It added new build mode stuff such as elevators. It introduced a new talent badge system, and that's where Sims could raise their badge level on certain skills like making sails or flower arranging. Pets was the next expansion, which reintroduced your Sims to being able to own pets, and we could own pets like cats, dogs, and smaller ones like kind of snakes or parrots. Our pets could learn tricks, they had their own genetics to have their own litters, and for the first time they could even have their own jobs. The next expansion was Seasons, and this was the first time where weather was actually fully introduced into the series. So it came with the neighborhood River Blossom Hills and of course included the 4 seasons, summer, fall, winter and spring. It had changing weather, the temperatures could also change, and this could mean that Sims could either die of a heat stroke or freeze to death. It added new stuff like gardening and fishing and a new occult Plant Sim, which was the first time it introduced it into the series. It also has some other things like careers like education and a gamer career. It added penguins and some new lifetime ones. The Sims Bon Voyage made the return of going on vacation, and there was 3 neighborhoods that they could go to, and in those worlds they could stay in either lavish hotels, vacation homes, or they could try rough it out on a campground. It also introduced vacation mementos, and this is where Sims could collect memories of what they did on their vacation. It had souvenirs for your Sims to collect, so they could dig up collectibles, let's say, on the beach. And there were also some secret lots and NPCs, but I don't want to spoil those for any new players to the game. But also a new feature they added was jewelry into the game for the very first time, so Sims could wear things like earrings or necklaces. The next expansion was Free Time, and this is one of my favorite ones. It added a lot more to hobbies and some new hobbies for your Sims to do. It also came with a new neighborhood, Desiderata Valley. It came with lifetime aspirations, a new hobby enthusiasm system, hobby lots, and also the ability to age up NPCs alongside with your Sims. It added the new occult Genie, careers like entertainment and intelligence, and some new hobbies like pottering and sewing. The final expansion for The Sims 2 was Apartment Life, and this was the first time we were actually able to move our Sims into apartments. So it came with the new neighborhood Belladonna Cove, and of course, added apartments where you could either build your own or use pre-existing ones. Unlike The Sims 4, sorry, this is not me trying to bash The Sims 4, but unlike The Sims 4, there was no loading screens when wanting to visit one of your neighbors on the same lot, so you could just knock on their door and enter it. It also allowed you to have roommates, added social classes like socialites, a new reputation system, the new occult for witches, and then it also came with new skills like magic and breakdancing. So in terms of what I hope or expect from a re-release is I'm hoping they really only make minor changes to the game, and those changes would be to make it playable on new hardware without the need of tons of mods or external software. The reason being that I hope they don't make too many changes is I think it would be a real shame if those changes ended up breaking mods and custom content. That would mean we would maybe lose almost, what, like 20 years worth of mods and custom content. And right now my folder is like 8 gigabytes worth, so EA, please just don't do us dirty. Please don't break our mods and custom content that we've been using for so long. In terms of cut content, there were some cut content like power outages from bad weather, some NPCs that were cut, and also some unused class items or build by objects. However, I would much rather them not add any cut content if that means our mods will stay intact. In terms of a Sims 2 re-release, I would say it is worth it, but again, it depends on what EA decides to charge us. If it's a decent price, I say absolutely go for it. It's definitely my personal favorite, but I also think there's something in the game for everyone. Of course, if you are coming from The Sims 4, the cast and build by modes are nowhere near as powerful or intuitive, but we're lax in that department. I think it definitely dominates in terms of gameplay and personality. If you did enjoy this video and you would like to see more content for really all of the Sims games, please let me know down below, leave a like and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on the re-releases. But yeah, I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.